In the quiet corner of a small-town café, where the afternoon light fell soft through rain-streaked windows, a little boy clung to his mother's hand. His small fingers were wrapped so tightly around hers that his knuckles turned pale. She didn't pull away. She just looked down at him with eyes full of love and quiet worry. It was one of those ordinary winter afternoons when the world feels a little colder than it should. The cafe smelled of fresh coffee and cinnamon rolls. People came and went, laughing softly, paying for their drinks, hurrying back into the day. But at the small table near the back, time seemed to move slower. Her name was Sarah. She was 32, though the lines around her eyes made her look older. Her coat was thin, the kind that had once been warm, but now let the chills slip right through. Across from her sat her son, Ethan, 8 years old, big brown eyes, a faded blue hoodie that was 2 sizes too small. They had been sitting there for almost an hour, 2 empty cups in front of them. No food, no new orders. Sarah had come in hoping to stay warm for a while. The landlord had turned the heat off early that month. Again. She had told Ethan it was just an adventure. "We're explorers today, sweetheart. Waiting for the right moment." He believed her. Children usually do. She reached into her pocket for the third time. Only a few coins left? Enough for one small coffee, maybe. But she couldn't bring herself to spend them. Not when Ethan kept glancing at the display case where the pastries sat like little promises. A barista walked past, young, busy. He gave them a quick glance, then looked away. Another customer, an older man in a wool coat, ordered a latte to go and left without a second look. Sarah whispered, almost to herself, "It's okay, baby. We're just waiting for someone." Ethan looked up at her. "Who, Mommy?" She smiled the way mothers do when they don't have an answer. "Someone kind, someone who understands." Minutes passed. The cafe grew quieter as the lunch crowd thinned. Sarah felt the familiar weight settle deeper in her chest. The weight of trying to protect her son from a world that kept asking for more than she could give. She had lost her job 3 months earlier. The medical bills from Ethan's asthma still arrived every month like clockwork. She was doing everything she could. But sometimes everything isn't enough. That's when the door opened again. A man stepped in, tall, mid-40s, gray coat, quiet eyes. He carried a leather messenger bag and the calm of someone who had learned to walk slowly through life. He ordered black coffee at the counter, then turned. His gaze landed on the small table in the corner. He didn't stare, he just noticed. Something in the way Sarah held Ethan's hand, the way the boy kept his eyes on the floor, trying to be invisible, the way the mother kept her shoulders straight even though they wanted to fall. The man paid for his coffee. Then he paused. He looked at the barista and spoke softly. "Can I get 2 hot chocolates? And maybe a couple of those cinnamon rolls?" The barista nodded. The man took his tray and walked toward their table. Sarah noticed him coming. Her heart tightened. She straightened a little, ready to explain, ready to apologize, ready to leave. He stopped a respectful distance away. "Excuse me," he said gently. "I hope I'm not intruding. It's cold out there today, and I thought maybe these might help." He set the tray down carefully. 2 steaming mugs of hot chocolate topped with whipped cream. 2 warm cinnamon rolls wrapped in paper. Sarah blinked. Her voice came out small. "You don't have to." "I know," he said. "But I want to." Ethan's eyes grew wide. He looked at the hot chocolate, then at his mom, waiting for permission. Sarah swallowed. "Thank you," she whispered. "Really?" The man smiled. "Just a small one." "May I sit for a minute? Just to warm up?" She nodded. He sat across from them, not too close. Just close enough to feel like company instead of charity. For a while, no one spoke. Ethan took a careful sip. His face lit up like the sun had come out inside him. Sarah watched him, and something inside her softened. The man broke the silence first. "My name is Daniel." "Sarah," she said. "And this is Ethan." Daniel looked at the boy. "Hi, Ethan. You like cinnamon rolls?" Ethan nodded shyly. "They're my favorite." "Good choice." Another quiet moment. Then Daniel asked, very gently, "You two been here long?" Sarah hesitated. Then she answered honestly, long enough to feel like we're taking up space. Daniel shook his head. You're not taking up space. You're filling it with something important. She looked at him, unsure. Love, he said simply. The way you hold his hand. The way you keep smiling even when it's hard. That's not nothing. That's everything. Tears gathered in Sarah's eyes before she could stop them. She wiped them quickly, embarrassed. Daniel didn't look away. I lost someone a few years back, he said quietly. My wife. She used to say that the hardest days are the ones that teach us how to receive help and how to give it. Sarah looked down at the hot chocolate in her hands. Steam curled up like a prayer. I don't know how to thank you, she said. You already did, Daniel replied. By letting me sit here. By letting me see your courage. Ethan finished his cinnamon roll and licked the sugar from his fingers. Then he looked at Daniel with serious eyes. Are you the someone we were waiting for? Daniel's face softened. He leaned forward just a little. I think maybe I am, buddy. At least for today. Sarah reached across the table and touched Daniel's hand, just for a second. God must have sent you. Daniel smiled again. Or maybe he just reminded me to look up and see the people right in front of me. They sat together until the light outside began to fade. When it was time to go, Daniel stood first. Wait, Sarah said. She opened her purse and pulled out a small folded piece of paper. This is my number. If you ever want to know how Ethan's doing, Daniel took it carefully, like it was something precious. I'd like that, he said. As Sarah and Ethan walked toward the door, Ethan turned back once. Thank you, Mr. Daniel. Daniel raised his hand in a small wave. Take care of your mom, okay? I always do. The bell above the door chimed as they left. Outside, the snow had started again. Soft, quiet flakes that covered the world in something gentle. Daniel stayed at the table a little longer. He looked at the empty mugs and smiled to himself. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness isn't about what we give. It's about remembering to see, to pause, to say, let me help. And in that simple moment, a stranger becomes a friend. A cold afternoon becomes warm. And somewhere in the quiet spaces of the heart, faith is quietly renewed. Sometimes the smallest act of kindness can change someone's world forever. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. You never know who might be waiting, just for someone like you.